is up? Who is up with me tonight? Who is up with me tonight? I said I'm getting up here. Yes, as I am, family. You all know that. Um, I want to tap into some energy. Let me try to get in here. Okay, let's see if I can get in here. I'm up here. I wasn't going to get up here tonight, right? But I said, let me jump up here with the family, with the spiritual family tonight. Um, See if anybody is trying to connect with their missing. And let's see what energy comes through here. Yeah. Hi, family. I'm scrying tonight, right, family? I'm scrying tonight. So I am doing that. Um, hmm. Hi, family. Hi, Gwen. Hi, Capri. Who's this? Chick, chicks with, what's this? Sticks and Twitch. Family, y'all be having some names in here. Hi, Ashley. I like chicks with sticks on Twitch. You changed your name? What was it before? All right, family. I'm tapping into some energy. I'm actually scrying. I want to know if anybody up here who answers always. Anybody up here who wanted to or is looking for their loved one, right? Let me know. Ciao. Let's see that energy. Point. Oh, you stream and you play with an all-female group? So you do like gaming? I don't know. I know my sons, they be doing these gamings, right? I'm not really big on it, but I watch them sometimes. Half of the time I don't know what I'm watching. but I watch it sometimes. Hi family. Is anybody up here? I finally have my logo and I want you to see it. I'm about to email you now. Yes, email it to me. Yes, because if you all don't know, I can get my emails now, right? So you all can email me, and if there's anybody who has paid for any kind of services for me, uh, and you still waited, and that if that was in the last 2 to 3 weeks, please just send me an email as well if I haven't gotten back to you, right? Because I know that I was supposed to get back to, I believe, three other folks, and then I started uh doing other things, and I just wanted to make sure that I got back to you all, right? Yes, ma'am. 2000 and some other video. Okay, okay, you're doing your thing. Family, is there he says a complete blessing. I'm excited about it. Very good. I'm happy. I'm excited with you. Mm-hmm. I've emailed you, Miss T, a message, Patreon also. Okay. Is it something that want to be, is something that needs to be discussed? Like I can discuss it here? Let me know. And yes, I have narrowed this down. So if you're not subscribed to me for more than a week, I'm sorry for those of you who has just subscribed to my channel and you're not able to chat in here. But I have to narrow it down for the minions, right? Because I can't have my energy pulled each and every way, right? So that's why I have it like that. I'm sure you all understand because it keeps my chat peaceful. And I want peace in here. I love peace. I'd rather have peace than any amount of viewers. I don't care about that. You all family sure already know that who has been with me, right? I care less about that. Peace is what matters in here, right? Mm. Ancestor said, "Oh, baby, I think I love you from head to toe." Hey, Miss T, can you revisit the missing case of Ronnie Dumas Jr. from Huntsville, Alabama? His family still has no answers, and law enforcement has not provided them with any updates. I don't really. I know that I did do his case. I can't tell you how long ago I've done that case. I can't even I can't even tell you what happened, what came out regarding that reading, right? Is he still missing? Did they find him, but they still not giving them answers? I'm not certain, right? Put it in there. I'm not sure. Mhm. But we can definitely look into that. Yes, I live in Huntsville. Yes, he's still missing since December the 15th. I can message you on Patreon. That's okay with you. That's fine. Like, mm-hmm. And it says, I sent a cash app a while ago, but lost your email address, but didn't worry about it because my cash app had a different name. Um, Amir Still, are you one of those people who couldn't get in contact with me and reported my cash app? Because I've already left two messages, right? Regarding my Cash App and what has happened to my Cash App because those couldn't get in contact with me and I couldn't receive emails. So I had a few folks maybe who had just started dealing with me who thought I was going to run off with their money, right? So they was reporting my Cash App. So my Cash App is shut down. I did go and because I wanted to rectify that. So I did go and reach out to Cash App, but I decided I don't want to deal with Cash App anymore, right? I don't care. I don't want to deal with Cash App no more. Um, because not just that, it was some other issues that was going on there. So those of you all who are trying to reach out to me for services, you need to send me PayPal. That's it. That's how I'm rolling now. I'm not dealing with Cash App. I'm not dealing with Cash App. That's it. Because I'm a real person. This is a legitimate business that I do, right? A legitimate service that I provide. And if Cash App couldn't, you know, get in contact with me, get in contact with me by other means to rectify the situation, I don't want to do any business with anyone like that, right? That somebody can just go and report my Cash App as a scam without them even notifying me, because they have other avenues to notify me, right? Cash App have my email, they have my address, they have my phone number, so they have other ways of notifying me regarding whatever's going on, whatever a customer is saying that their money was stolen or they wanted a refund. And I always say, family, that if you want a refund, right? I've always said this. If you want a refund, hit the refund button. I have no problems giving refunds, right? I'm not trying to steal your money or run off with your money, right? I have no problems giving a refund. I've always stated this, right? So if you pay for services and if you're waiting too long and you can't wait, hit the refund button. I'll give you a refund. I will give you a refund, right? I have no problem. And I'm going to say that again. Anybody who's on my PayPal, if you send me something and your services is, you feel like you waiting too long, that you can't wait for me because I have other folks, I go in accordance to whenever services has been rendered, right? So when you pay for service, I go in that order, right? I just work myself my way down. If you can't wait, hit the refund button. When I get in there into my PayPal, I will gladly give you a refund. But see, what I don't want to do is give somebody a refund, right? Because this has happened to me, family. I have given someone a refund, but then they had reported something, and then they went into my account and took the refund back, right? So you got twice. You got twice. So we're not doing that. I'm not dealing with Cash App, right? I'm not dealing with Cash App. That's it. So I have made a posting for those who it was mainly for the Cash App people. That's what that was for, the Cash App, because I've never had a problem. I've had my PayPal way longer than Cash App, right? I've never had that problem before, and I don't want to start having that problem, right? And then I have folks up here that's jealous. I have that too, that just go and report my Cash App because they're mad because I will do messages by donations, right? So you're upset because you want them to give you the business, right? So you want the messages, right? You don't want me to give the messages. I have that too, right? I have that too. Yeah. So I had things like that going on. So we're not doing that no more, right? I'm doing PayPal where I'm protected, right? Where they know all about the issues and I'm protected. So not only do you have to show proof, I would have to show proof as well, right? Yeah. All right. So let's just get that cleared. Okay. But I am still able to go into my Cash App and see who have paid for what, right? Because I still have access to all the activities in my Cash App. So even if somebody come and say I made a payment and they didn't, I still have access to my Cash App. I can look and see, right? But no, I'm not doing business through Cash App anymore, right? Yeah. All right. So, Miss Steele, you can tell me what was your Cash App name through there, right? Send me an email, your Cash App name, with services you paid for, and your email address where I can forward whatever information to. Okay. And I will be in contact with you. Right. All right. I had to I had to speak on that. Right. So for anybody who need to know or want to know, now you know. Right. Mhm. Um, I'm reading some of what Chicks with Sticks is saying. Yes, ma'am, 2000, some other video games. Okay, I think I read that. Capri says a complete lesson. All right, I'll look for your email. Like I said, I've emailed you, Miss T, and I messaged you on Patreon also. Okay. All right. I will revisit that Ronnie Dumas case. I can message you on Patreon. Oops. That's okay with me, Light. Like I said, the guy who got arrested, the guy who hurt the twins got arrested. Very good. I'm happy because we knew that wasn't a murder suicide, right? Um, we know that wasn't a murder suicide. Ancestor said that's not a murder suicide, right? I'm glad the person got caught. I'm glad that they got arrested, right? Um, I was going to give a description because I did see this person appear, and then I seen some other features on this person, right? But what stood out the most because the ancestors was like had me at this whole, and I'm sorry, family, that I can't put out things when you all want me to, right? I put it according to spirit. So what's the reason why the ancestors didn't want me to put out certain information then, right? And I'm fine with that because I always roll with how ancestors guide me. But I'm gonna say this. Um, the one thing that I kept noticing was I could see this, right? And this person was looking through their mirror, driving. So you're looking at them, looking what's going on back there. So something was going on back there. I don't know if these twins was already trying to be, they had them concealed back there some kind of way, this individual, or they was waiting for something to work on them, right? Maybe you gave them something, I don't know, waiting for something to work. So you keep looking, see. I'm not certain, right? But I just can't get that image out of my head, what I was seeing, right? But I'm happy that they caught the person, put it in there, like with whatever who they caught or whatever's going on in there, right? hmm But I'm happy, right? So now the family can get some answers regarding some things, right? I know that it was a lot of things, and I know these babies were sacrificed, right? Um, People sacrifice you for many of reasons, right? Yeah. And someone have been talking to these twins about this cruel world that we live in. And the message that came out there, right? I didn't want to get too deep into it, family, at the time. But that message that came through, family, right when they sold the message that has come through for those twins, right? If you know, you know, family, when dealing with spirits, right? They was giving confirmation to their loved ones. You understand that this is an evil world that we live in. That's the thing that hit me to the pit of my soul. Like, I felt it, right? But I didn't want to go deep down there, right? I said something to the nature of it, but they was giving confirmation as if someone had already been schooling them to be careful on your journey, don't trust, blah, blah, blah. Be wary of people. You understand? Because they was giving confirmation that what you have taught us is correct. This world is evil. Some evil people in this world and the justice system, right? These are people in high places. I hope you all know, right? It doesn't matter what area you serve, police, right? Fire department, lawyers, doctors, you understand? Judges, yeah, people in high places, right? That's supposed to serve and bring justice to the community. You understand? Yeah. One of the brothers, their intuition was telling them some things, but the other brother, although he felt that, he didn't want to show it to his other brother. You understand? So he just went with the flow. You understand? He felt like how he was feeling, but he didn't want to express that because sometimes when we express things, right? Sometimes we could put fear in them. So they just went with the flow of things. You understand? It's a lot of things going on, family. Yeah. Um, All right, let's see what you all are saying because my comments had stopped. So I had to go out and come back in there. Uh, all right, this do miss guy still missing. Let's tap into this do miss guy. Um, Family said, "What's wrong with people exactly? I completely understand. They may have been the issue. I had issues with them. It's not an issue. You have been awesome to me. Thank you, Amelia. Thank you." Um, who is this? Kita said, "OMG, I actually caught a live." Tiffany said they some haters. Yeah, I have that too, right? I have that too, family. Believe it or not, in the spiritual community, family, which I thought I would never get that in spiritual community because I'm one for I help you elevate. I'll teach you some secrets, right? To help you elevate. That's me, right? Because the ancestors have already schooled me. What's for me is for me. Right? You understand? And whatever I have, if I don't want you to have, you won't have it, right? Yeah. You have it because I give it to you. So I can't be upset of something that I gave you, right? Or something that I allowed to come to the light. Because I could do my sorcery in secrecy. You understand? I could do that in secrecy. So I mean, I didn't ever thought that I would come across people, especially in the spiritual, that they would step on your head, right? To get to the top. Yeah, we have that too, right? Yeah, unfortunately. It's everywhere, family. It's everywhere. I feel like those are not the real spiritual people that's tapped in spiritually. Yeah, you're not. And if you view on me, you're not. When you steal people things or step on their head to get to the top or try to sabotage them in some kind of way, you're not, right? You're not. Because we don't do that in the spiritual communities. Real spiritual beings do not do that, right? We don't hurt people, we elevate them. We help them to ascend. Yeah. So take that. Yeah. Sleep on that. Okay. Um, all right. I read that. The guy was sharing pictures of the twins. You alive. He was a firefighter. And you know what? The fire came out on top of the justice, right? So we know what we're looking at, right? The fire came out on top of the justice. We know that some aggressive things happen in there, but we also got to look at fire, right? And I told you, family, I have a lot of elements coming out in here, right? A lot of elements came out justifying some things, right? To let us know about that, right? Yeah, because the fire it signifies firefighters on the justice, right? Because that's an industry that you're a part of, that you're attached to. Mhm. We knew very well what we was looking at. You understand, family? And others who's connected in here. But we knew exactly what we were looking at, right? And I tell you, family, I don't care what people are reporting. That's one thing. I don't care what people are reporting, right? Or how they try to sway us, because you know they give out fake news, right? They try to persuade us and have us. When the ancestors say you better not, trust me, I'm not. I'm going exactly where the ancestors is tugging me to. I don't care what they reporting out there. I know better because the spiritual realm, our ancestors is always uncovering what people try to hide and deceive us regarding. Oh, yeah. You better believe it. Hold on one second, family. Hold on one second, family. Sorry, family. That's my papa. He's supposed to be in the bed. He's trying to beat me in the head, family. Trying to beat me in the head. Absolutely not. Right? I'm like, you're supposed to be in bed. What are you doing up? Right? Um, so like I was saying, our ancestors protect and guide us, family, of what people are trying to hide and deceive us about. Okay. So, family, please follow your intuition, right? Kita said he killed them and took pictures to share. Evil. This is the evil that the ancestors has brought to the light. The evil, right? Go back and look at the spread, family. Go back and look at the spread. This is the evil world that they talking about in the justice system. I've spoke a lot of times, right, about other things that goes on, right? And the ancestors said we've been deceived. I've spoke about that. I'm not going to get heavy into that tonight, right? Not going to go there. But for those of you all, if you know, you know, right? I'm sure a lot of you all have heard my lectures and have seen my spreads. That's all I'm going to say. Yeah, it's evil people in this world. And most of them are in high places. You think you could trust them because they say who they are? I told you before, family, I don't care about your title. I don't care nothing about nobody's title. Nothing about anybody's title. Your title means nothing to me when the ancestor says that your soul is corrupt and that your soul is evil. I don't care anything about a title. You think I trust people just because, oh, that's my doctor? So I'm going to put everything. And I don't give a damn if you're the doctor, the priest, the judge. I don't care who you are. If the ancestors say it's a no, honey, because I already know the deal. I don't care nothing about your title. Title means nothing to me when your soul is evil. You understand? Nothing at all. Right? So get out of these titles, family. Get out of these titles. Please get out of them. Yeah, we have people all the time. Oh, I'm I'm the lawyer, and the lawyer is corrupt, working on the other side. Oh, I'm the doctor, and the doctor giving you the poison. Oh, I'm the social worker, and the social worker is working not on your behalf. You understand? And they doing experimenting with your kids. Wake up, family. Okay, this is what's going on. Okay, and something else. When I was on that live, I believe family was expressing to me that somebody was taking some pictures. Is this the same person? Somebody was taking some pictures and posting them of the twins' body. And I was asking, why would they be posting pictures? I don't know. It just didn't sit right in my soul. And I know family was saying it's not uncommon that, that they don't take pictures. Back in the days, they took pictures and even pictures of people being lynched. Yes, I understand that, right? But something about that in that case just didn't sit right with my soul. And I was like, why? What will be the reason of this EMT to go and take pictures and share it? Right? It just didn't sit well in my soul. And now I see why it didn't sit well. Because it wasn't like you was taking pictures to document something. You understand? For the justice of the family. Now I see why it didn't sit right with my soul. You understand? Yeah. What's this? Mum Brat 306? Hi, family. I catch me praying for my kids more and more all day, every day, because of the way this world is operating. Very, very sad what happened to those babies. Yes, it's very sad, right? Especially when we was getting confirmation on some things, right? Yeah. That's how I know, right? I felt it in my soul. that confirmation had been, the family had already been telling them, loved ones had already been telling them, be careful, right? Whether you're traveling, be careful, be careful. Don't be so trusting of people. Don't be, see, you understand? Yeah, yeah. I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna look at that spread. But I got the message that the ancestors had been brought through clearly, right? Yeah. They giving their loved ones confirmation. They was right. Family, you was right. This is a cruel world that we live in. You understand? This is a very cruel world and people are evil. Even in the places where we have been told that not to trust them, and we let our guards down and we trust them, this is the results. This is the outcome, right? For some, not for all. Because everybody in those places, in those high places, is not evil and corrupt. But there's a lot more evil in those places than good. And if you find somebody good that's trustworthy, better hang on to them, honey, because ain't many out there. Yeah. So I'm just gonna say that, right? Let's look at Mr. Dumas. I read that the town the twins was murdered in was a sundown town in the South. A sundown town means if you're black, you better be getting out of that town before dark. And that's another thing, right? About these sundown towns, right? Why? Why? Yeah, this is the evil world, right? hmm Why can't I go as a person of this skin tone, right? I should be able to go anywhere I want on this earth, anywhere I want. Nobody should be trying to attack me because of the color of this, right? You see why I walk by spirit? I walk with our ancestors for that very reason. That's why, family, you better be tapping in with your ancestors, right? Not only for revelation into things, but for guidance into some things of how you can have the upper hand in situations as well, right? Because that's another thing. Mhm. Because trust me, I've came across some people who was racist, and I tell you, family, that I'm far from that. Right? My family is a rainbow, and my family, physically, my family is a rainbow, and spiritually, my family is a rainbow. Right? So color means nothing. The soul means everything to me. I don't care about what color you are, because it's folks that look like me that be trying to do me in. You understand? Just like me. And it's folks that don't look like me that be going to bat for me, and vice versa. You understand? So I don't care anything about anybody's skin color. I don't care about that. But trust me, when I'm ready to do the old okey dokey on you, you're going to get something that my ancestors have been waiting to give you. I don't give a damn what color you are. You understand? Yeah. So you better make note of that. I don't have people that came across me. Yeah, they was racist as could be. And when I finished with them, when my ancestors finished concocting something, guess what? They are no longer here. And I give all the glory to the ancestors because guess what? The ancestors had already been waiting for these people. Yeah. They had already been waiting for them. Because not only did you do it to me, but you did it to others. You did it to others before that. Your time was already up, right? The ancestors just needed a physical vessel for somebody to put some things in motion. And I happen to be that vessel that was going to put it in motion and who have put it in motion. That's it. Should work with your ancestors, family. Because I know I work with mines. Yeah. Work with your ancestors, right? Yeah. Family said, in this day and time, right? You can't even go to whatever town you want to, right? You got to get out of the town before darkness come. Mhm. Yeah, that's because of the dark souls people have. This is what the ancestors were saying about the black and white thing, right? It's not the skin color, it's the things that your souls do in the dark. I done spoke about this already, right? Bringing things to the light. That's was the whole thing of the black and white. It had nothing to do with people's skin color. It had everything to do with the dark things people's soul has done. That's what that was. So they found a way to turn those black souls into now putting it on a group of people who's dark. But black souls come in all colors, family. Those people that's in the sundown town, those are black souls. Those are the black souls. Mhm. They have nothing to do with the complexion of a person's skin tone or the race of people. It has everything to do with the soul. Yeah. Some people just have dark souls. And some people souls are lighter. These are the people that fight for justice and bring things to the light, right? That's what the ancestors talking about, light as a feather. Some of you all got your Bible all twisted up to the way the government wants you to read it, right? It's been revised how many times? All right, family. Let's look into Dumas' case. Hold on, family.
Sorry to bother you again.
I know, family, because I'm the only one in the house that my papa could go to. I told him, you better go to bed. You better go to sleep. You know you got school in the morning. Go brush your teeth. Go to bed. Told my mom, sorry to bother you, but can I put the TV on? You better go to bed. Put TV on for what? Go to bed. All right, family, let's look into Dumas' case. Mhm. Can somebody put Dumas' whole name up in here again, family, so I don't have to look for it again? Tiffany said he's so polite. Yeah, he could be polite. He could be a menace as well, family. You ever family? Yeah, my baby can have a tantrum at times. Oh, he can have a breakdown. After after cleanse him with some of this, right? Then he gets some act right. He changed. His whole aura changed after that. Yeah, I say, ancestors, come on. Come and deal with him, ancestors. Come and give him some get right, some act right. Yeah. I'm not joking, family. This is a true story. True story. um Ronald Dumas Jr. Okay, let's see what the ancestors bring through. And I'm scrying, family. Ancestors clarity into Ronald Dumas Jr. Into this case. Ronald Dumas Jr. I'm in my other deck, which I should be. Let me go into my other deck. What happened there, ancestors? Let me go into my other deck. I'm sorry, family. Let me go into my other deck because if I hold up something, I want you all to be able to see what's going on. A female, he's telling me. Is that an initial of the female? something more happened, right? That's just hmm, okay. Put this together. Ronald Dumas Jr. Okay. Let me read the messages and I'll put it together from what I'm scrying and seeing. Ronald Dumas Jr. Ancestors. Clarity into the situation. Who's Chris? All right. Here's the dance. So he is socializing, right? Ancestors was throwing out who? He was tricked into something. Okay. He's socializing, right? Here's some reckless things. Also, some fading relationships I have to look at, right? So I have to look at whoever that he's the socialization. The dance just tells me about socialization. Yes, you could be at a dance, you could be at a gathering, a party, a get together, because it's just a socialization, right? But ancestors say take a deeper look into this obsessed, right? Somebody in here is obsessed with doing something faulty, right? Reckless. They even watching him, right? But it seemed like it's some fading relationships going on somewhere in there, right? So you could be not that close to someone. You can have these off and on again relationships that goes on in here, right? But he's socializing, so he's doing some socialization with whoever done tricked him, okay? Because that's what ancestors do out. And I got a female in there that he expressed something happening to a room with a female, right? And this could be during that time, this could be prior, whatever room this gathering was in, or somewhere private, it doesn't matter. But and somebody named Chris, whoever Chris may be. Mm-hmm. Messages. Ooh. Hmm. It looks like we may be hearing something this year regarding whatever happened to Chris. I mean, excuse me. Oh boy. Whatever happened to Dumas, okay? But maybe getting some revelation into this Chris person. I don't know. All right, here's the control over situation. And I got to look at some things with the control, right? And I got to look at an actual gun, right? A weapon. I got to look at an actual weapon because something that the ancestors threw up in my scry, I have to look at an actual gun family being involved in some kind of way. Okay. Here's the suicide that tells me, yes, I have to look at suicide at the end. Okay. But I also got to look at the self harm. So it lets me know that Mr. Dumas, and I hate to say this, family, right? Pair this spread up with the other spread that I've done of Dumas because I'm not certain what all have come out in Dumas' case. But I have to look at some self harm, right, on his part as well. So it lets me know that you contributed to some things as well that has happened to you. It's not saying that you deserving of what happened. It just lets me know where you stand in it all. Okay. So I have to look at some self-harm on his part too, right? Because sometimes we open the doors for our own demise and don't even realize it. So I gotta look at Dumas. It's not saying that he is, you know, what happened to him should have happened. That's not what it's saying. It's just saying that I got to look at some self harm, right? So I got to look at this, some faulty choices on his part too, right? One of them is trusting the wrong people because somebody done tricked him, and he is what I've seen. All right, I got some envy. So he's telling me about some envy things. So I got somebody that got some hatred or jealousy in here, right? Ancestors is warning Dumas, right? About this envy and jealousy that's in here, right? With the people he's socializing with. So the self-harm too is in going to a gathering or being with somebody or some people, right? That you know that you shouldn't be around because they don't have your best interest, right? They have your best interest. Um, and although he was socializing with someone, he was still alone. All right, that message came out clear. He was still alone. So something in there was going on, right? So you could be in a room full of people, but still feel alone, right? It lets me know that you're not really connecting or vibing with them. You're not on the same frequency, right? Here's a crossover. This is actually somebody switching up on him. Look how this lay. This is the secret. Here's the crossover. Somebody switching up on him. Look at this. Here's quarrels in here, right? So somebody's changing up on him. They switching up. Here's the fading relationship. Yeah. Sometimes people invite you places or you go someplace with somebody, right? And then guess what? All of a sudden, it be set up sometimes, right? They switch up on you. You're like, where this energy is coming from? Somebody done switched up on this man. All right. Somewhere along the line, somebody done switched up. They intent switched up on him. Right? Yeah. Something more happened there. Okay. Let's go a little deeper. This whole side of his head, right, is like an impact. You know what it make me feel like? Like, oh my goodness. It just feel like something just like something just broke through my skull. That's what it feels like. Like, oh my goodness. Oh, child. Right? Um, I got addictions here at this socialization. So whatever this is, right? So you socializing with somebody and you could be into something, whatever it may be, whatever somebody may be addicted to, right? It could be alcohol, it could be pills, it could be drugs, whatever. Okay. Whatever other kind of addictions is in there, right? But then I gotta look on something because it falls in the line of you see this envy and hate, right? The crow is warning, right? So we getting a message on his living conditions and his lifespan regarding these addictions and his socialization. So somebody could have gave you something because they hate you, right? Here's the abuse here, right? So I got some abuse going on here. I even got addictions and some abuse and a sacrifice in here. So it lets me know that somebody was doing something, right? Yeah. But whatever you was doing, you was overindulgent in it. It's an addiction going on in here, right? Something happened in there. The thing is, the ancestor says, I got this control, right? Somebody taking control over something, making it a good outcome. Here is the suicide in here, and here's the abuse. I have to look at some things because I have to look at the way somebody is treating you at that moment, right? That'll make you do something out of the ordinary as well. Okay. Ancestors said, here's the crossover because somebody switched up on you in here. You're having quarrels. But this person intent was to sacrifice you already because you're in there, you're having fading relationships with them. You see? So something went on in there. Something happened in there. Hmm. Clarity into the messages, ancestors. I feel like the energy that's coming through here, family, about Mr. Dumas. And I don't know anything about Dumas, but I'm gonna speak about what I'm picking up from spirit. Dumas was sad in some kind of way, right? I don't know what happened in his life, but I picked that up that he was saddened by something. I don't know if he socialized, like if he hooked up with somebody or these people or something to brighten up his day, even though he know that he shouldn't have went, but he was already sad previously regarding some things, right? So he could have been having and the ancestor said the water, right? Something about some water. So he could have been trying to, raise his vibrations, right? Make himself happy, right? Get out. But it didn't go as planned. Could be near some water. Could be somewhere near some water. Maybe that's near a lake or something. Is there any lakes out there? Yeah. What direction is this in? I'm looking for a lake approximately 15 minutes away, right? Some kind of lake, right? Maybe this lake could be maybe this lake, right? Because I'm trying to see what ancestors is. Maybe this lake is like a memorial, some kind of memorial thing. I don't know, like this area. Some kind of monumental things could be there, like honoring like mothers and grandmothers or something to that nature. I'm just gonna say. All right, here's the family, right? But I also got some addiction that's going on in here, right? I gotta look at the family tree and other things that went on in the family as well, right? Um, Also the family taking control over some things in here, right? Uh, could be about an addiction, right? And I tell you, family, people got many addictions. Here's the body. This is the thing. This is the soul. This is Dumas soul, right? See, somebody's not telling everything, right? So somebody who he socialized with, they're not telling everything about the addiction. The addiction could have just been a drug he could have took. Somebody could have gave them something that they was prescribed, that they was addicted to and gave it to him. You understand? See, they're not telling everything about what happened to his soul. But also, I got his soul on this envy that tells me some things, right? It tells me that I got somebody in here that's jealous of his soul, right? Somebody in here is jealous of him some kind of way. right? They jealous for whatever reason. They're jealous, right? Sometimes you don't even know somebody and they be jealous of you, but somebody is jealous, whoever he's connecting with in here. All right. Here's the family tree. Here's the no to stop, right? And the suicide. So no, so I can't look at an actual suicide on his part, but I have to look at some things that led up to his demise that him too opened the doors for. So was at fault of some things, right? It's not saying that he committed suicide, right? It's just talking about the self-harm in there, right? So if somebody give you something and you take it, that's the self-harm in there, especially if you don't know what it is that you're taking. Okay? That's self-harm on your part. So I have that. I also have this trickster, right? See, the trickster comes out on his crossover. Ancestors did say he was tricked. That's one of the first things that came up while I was scrying. Somebody tricked him, right? I got to look at this trickster in here, right? Contributing to his demise. See, this trickster here, here's the low vibrational energy. That's what this is about, right? Then here's quarrels going on in here. You understand? It's harm, right? So you're talking, you're having a discussion, you're having an argument, okay? Whether this be known or not, that's what's going on in here, right? Mm-hmm. And then I'm seeing the sacrifice in here, right? Because of fate and relationship. So you're not seeing eye to eye with somebody, right? You're having a fate and relationship. You're having a little spit spat, right? You're having a discussion that is going elsewhere. This person is switching up on you all of a something. So in order for somebody to switch up on you, y'all have to be on the same page at some point in time, but then all of a sudden everything just went left. Yeah, I got to look at this person being responsible for causing this man demise in some type of way, right? I also got to look at this. Ancestors, clarity into the addiction and the dance. And I also got to look at some kind of choking, like like somebody strangling you some type of way. I don't know. Maybe a heated argument and somebody do like this to you, because that's what I'm getting. Something happened, like hmm. We're gonna hold off on that energy. All right, let's look at the addiction and the dance. Clarity into the addiction and the dance. I want to see what comes out in here. And this is the second time Ancestors letting me know about this. An actual weapon, a gun as well. An actual gun. Okay. So here's that female Ancestors was speaking about. Something happened back there, right? Here's that female that the Ancestors were speaking about somewhere back there. I feel like this female was in that area as well, right? Something happened in that room or wherever he was socializing at. I'm gonna say near some water, a lake maybe in particular, I don't know, right? But a body of water, some kind of water, about 15 minutes away. I feel like some other things happen there in that area, right? I feel like this place, I don't know if this is a memorial, if this is a park, is a school. I think it's near a school, some type of school. I don't know. So this lake could be near some type of school where they may have something about parents, right? Maybe they maybe memorializing something about parents, like mothers, right? Some kind of thing. Or I'm not certain about that. Like mothers or grandparents, right? Trying to but that's what I'm seeing, family. Hmm. Yes, his case is very suspicious. He was last known to go out partying or for drinks with a couple females, and his family never seen him again. Thank you for that. Right? Confirmation of some things the ancestors threw out. Right? That socialization, right? That dance, that party, that gathering, right? With a couple of females, right? Yeah. What was y'all doing there? Right? Somebody here's some addictions, right? So you out you drinking, whatever the addiction may be. You abusing it, whatever it is, right? Um, I gotta look at yeah. So somebody played a role in your demise there. Mm. Somebody tricked him. He was tricked, he said. Let's see what comes out in this trickery. Somebody switched up on him. Let's see. And they're not telling all what happened. They're not telling all what happened to his body. They're not telling all what happened at that socialization. They're not telling all what happened during those. So whatever you are indulging in, they're not telling it all. And the ancestors is actually warning regarding this female and all this that's going on here. Right? Let's go a little deeper into this trick stuff. Uh Family, whoever's following this case, just send me a I know that you all had set the location in here, right? I just want to backtrack and see what I could find 15 minutes out, um, and near some kind of lake or school, right? Um, Somebody could work near this school, even, right? But I feel like it's near this body of water. I don't know. Ancestors trying to take me to this place, right? And it could be a old school that could be abandoned or anything like that. But I just want to scour this area, right? So if anybody can somebody put up his location again, right? Wherever, send me an email or something. I'll try to look into this. All right, clarity to this trickster crossover ancestors. Clarity into this. Sleep. He is the angel. Here's the self-harm. Here's the trickster. And I gotta look at some things on his part. And here's the crossover, right? And this is not to make Mr. Doomer sound like a bad person. Um, did this man go out with the intent of thinking that something was going to happen and somebody switched up on him, right? Because it didn't go as planned. Everything went left. But also, was you planning on tricking this man out of his money or anything, right? I don't know, right? Somebody in there is doing something. But also, I gotta look at Mr. Dumas, right? What he thought that he was going to get as well. That somebody had expressed, right? Because they was on the same page, and it seemed like something just switched up in there. Hmm. So it's more going on. There's some other things going on in here, right? Let me go a little further in this. Clarity, ancestors. Oh, child. Alcohol. Yeah, alcohol did play a role in it. Alcohol and drugs. Definitely in the earth's elements, right? Grounded into the earth energy. And he definitely was somebody was trying to, you see this earthly things, money, buy me drinks, things like that, right? Yeah. See, something more is going on in this case, right? It just lets me know that, see, because Mr. Dumas is the angel, but it's kind of like, just say, I pay for drinks, right? I may pay for a lot of drinks. You may be trying to act like we're gonna have a nice time after this, right? Get together. But then now you're telling me something else, or why you can't do something else, or whatever have you. I just feel like something more happened there. But then when Mr. Dumas left, right, I got to look at somebody watching him too. But that somebody was in that room. Hmm. He did say somebody, Chris. So I don't know. So who's the mail that came in? It's a mail that came in somewhere, right? Somewhere back there, mail came in, right? This could be the Chris person that ancestors speak about, right? But that's what comes out, family, right? This could be also one of the females' dads. I don't know, but they was in that area in that room watching. Somebody was watching to do something reckless and abuse this man in some type of way. So somebody probably knew that this man had money, probably because he probably was spending, right? Buying drinks, covering drinks. And somebody in there made some faulty choices, right? Look deeper into this abuse, look deeper into this dad, and let's deeper into this obsess. So he was watching, right? I don't know. I don't know who Chris is, and some female that he connected to Chris with the initial L. I don't know, right? That's what I'm seeing, right? Mm. The one he self-harm, of Mr. Dumas is because he went there, right? He went there to this socialization and socializing with this female, right? Where the ancestors clearly threw up a warning regarding, okay? Clearly threw up that warning. Not only that, doing things, whatever the addiction is, because people have many addictions, right? And I don't want to, because I know that this man is missing. So some of the things that I want to say, I really don't want to say. But especially when you are covering drinks, right? Spending money, and sometimes people give something because they looking for something as well. And that doesn't mean that he's deserving of that, right? That's not what I'm saying, right? But what I'm saying is somebody intentions was on the same page as him beforehand. And then all of a sudden they switched up on him. Maybe they switched up on him because it was around a bunch of people, right? And they reneging in me on some things. I don't know, but that's what I'm seeing, right? I know one thing. Somebody did this to Mr. Dumas. Yeah. And Mr. Dumas experienced something here. And what I felt there felt like something, I don't know, it felt like something has cracked my skull. Two times ancestors said to look at that gun. So I have to look at that control as an actual weapon in there, right? So somebody using, whether they shot you or they bash you with it. Somebody used that as an actual weapon, right? But we praying. We don't stop praying no matter how the situation may look, right? We don't stop praying. We praying for this young man safe return, right? We don't stop praying. But something happened. And the one thing is he telling me he was in pain, family, and I felt it. Excruciating pain right here, right? That's for one thing. Another thing is something happened 15 minutes away. Uh I'm looking at the landmark of a school or a lake, right? A school in a lake. But it's not just any school or lake, right? It's like maybe it's a I don't know, maybe it's a school where young mothers go. I don't know, right? Because the ancestors keep throwing up something that's connecting me to like a mother, a grandmother, like some kind of I don't know, maybe this could be a memorial for something or something, right? So I'm just gonna say that. Right, family? So that's what I'm seeing. And Mr. Dumas, look 15 minutes away. Okay? Look 15 minutes out. All right. There's at least three guys and two or three females that are suspected of abducting him. Well, one of those guys, yeah, I definitely got to look at, right? And one of those females, right? Or all those females, or all those guys. But I'm definitely seeing in there the female, and that male that's in there, that's somebody's dad. So it's a father figure in there, right? So whoever this male is, he's a father figure, right? So he have a kid too. So I got to look at that sacrifice in there. So I got to look at that male abusing him, right? Making faulty choices and decisions, being reckless in there. I have to look at that. Something happened. And I also got to look at that weapon up there. Hmm. So one of them have a firearm, hmm, whether legally or illegal. That's what I see. Yeah. And he keep directing me 15 minutes out, right? Family, 15 minutes out from wherever, I don't know, the location. 15 minutes out, right? You're very welcome. You're very welcome, Kendra. Oops. The speaker on my name Dumas Jr., the realtor missing from Huntsville, Alabama, but his truck was found a couple of hours away in Jackson, Tennessee. Yeah. Go out 15 minutes. Go out 15 minutes, family. All right. Maybe the person living there 15 minutes away. You understand? Go out 15 minutes, right, to that location. It's something that's connected there where spirit is bringing me there to that location, right? Hmm. Yes, his case is very suspicious. I read that. So that's what I'm seeing, family. Right. We praying. We don't stop praying, right? Um, maybe they went joyriding in his car afterwards. I don't know, whoever. Right. People, family, yeah. Evil and wicked things going on in this world. So I'm just gonna say that. I'm gonna get off this live. Right. I'm not gonna tap into any more energy tonight. I'm done. Right. So I'm just going to say that, but I want you all to have a prosperous night. Hi, Wealthy. Hi, Linda. He was not not of right mind when it all went down. Shake my head. Sure was it. Sure was it. Right? Mm-mm. And he was saddened too about some things beforehand. Right? Somebody could have gave him false hope. He said he was tricked. So somebody could have gave him some false hope too. And when he could have went, right? Make himself happy. But they switched up on him in here, right? Yeah, somebody they was envious of him. And that pain that I felt back here on his head. Oh my goodness, family. You talking about excruciating pain? It felt like something just bust through my skull, like a kind of impact right there. Hmm. So that's what I'm seeing, family. But I want you all to have a prosperous night. I will try to go back and see what came out of Mr. Dumas' case. But from what I'm seeing, it don't look good. It looked like somebody abused him. Somebody has tricked him. You understand? Somebody had a weapon. They had a gun. Somebody grabbed Mr. Dumas like this at some point. Mr. Dumas keep redirecting me to 15 minutes away. Right? Is where the biggest discovery may be. I don't know. Could be something of his. Could be him. Could be the individual that's a part of it. Um, and where this area is probably 15 minutes away, I'm looking at some kind of school or lake or something, right? As a landmark over there. Okay. That's that's what I'm seeing, family. Right. But we praying, we don't stop praying. Right? We don't stop praying. So I'm just gonna say that we don't stop praying. Right, family? Have a prosperous night, family, and I will see you sometime this week, family. Love you all.